Yo, what's going on, guys? And of course, we have to talk about what happened tonight between the Orlando Magic and the New Orleans Pelicans. And of course, the game ended 117-108. If you guys weren't watching, and it's a big game for both teams if you aren't paying attention to the NBA standings, with the playoffs being just probably at this point 6-7 games away, depending on the team, and the playoff picture becoming closer and closer. The Magic are the 4 seed, but they are half game in front of the Knicks, and they're a full game behind the Cavs. So they really could, every game for them is a seeding position, and that's what kind of happened tonight. They got a dub, while the Pelicans, on the other hand, they're a team that is currently the 6th seed, and they're only a half game out from the play-in. So with them losing this game, if they had won this game, they would have been actually closer to maybe surpassing the Mavericks and even becoming the 4th seed, as they're only 2.5 games away from the Clippers. So that's the part that I think is most interesting, is you're seeing potentially the Pelicans, suffer a devastating turnaround at the end, or a devastating collapse at the end of the season, which they're trying to avoid, of course. And today, we have to talk about what happened. So basically what ended up happening, obviously there's playoff implications with the Orlando Magic trying to jump up to maybe potentially the 3rd seed, as they're only a game behind the Cavs, and they're trying to fight off the Knicks, who are just behind them, while the Pelicans are trying to avoid the play-in, as they're only a half game in front of the Suns and Kings, and the Clippers are only 2.5 games in front of them, and they're only a half game behind the Mavs. So this was a huge game that both teams needed to win. Ended up being Banchero, and what ended up happening tonight was Zion Williamson scored 15 points, and then he got freaking tabletopped by Gary Harris, who looked like he slipped while trying to strip the ball, poke the ball away from Zion during the 3rd quarter, and it was a pretty scary sight to see. What ended up happening was Zion Williamson later went to the locker room with the medical staff, and he seemingly, I don't know what he was getting checked out. I believe probably his knees. And he sat most of the 4th quarter, playing only 29 minutes. And what ended up happening at the very end of the game, there was about 18, 17 seconds. Herb Jones jacks up a 3 right after Dyson Daniels layup, and Banchero freaking dunks it. And we didn't get the best of angles at first, but it seemed like all three guys get just teched up, thrown out the game real quick. Willie Green just looks as confused as all hell. Just everybody. Seemingly there was when we look at the play back, you see Dyson, I don't know if they're probably chirping. They probably said something dumb. I don't know. I want to be on the side that the Pelicans got robbed. I mean, it was the end of the game. 112, 106 was at that point. I think maybe they didn't like the Banchero dunk at the end, but Banchero had 30 or more time, or 30 points or more 10 times this season. Had 18 of his points in the first half, and he was really just there. I think they just got pissed off and they felt disrespected there was no need to dunk. I think the idea was the game was winding down. I think it's the whole thing. But let me hear you guys' thoughts. Do you guys think Zion's fine? Again, he only played 29 minutes. He ended up scoring just 15 points. So I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts. This is a Pelican squad that should not be having any injuries. Let's be honest, they're already with Jose Alvarado and Brandon Ingram out. But let me hear your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe if you made it this far, and go check out Hoops Hype.